Reese, Tahira, they've all come out to give the strong impression that was a hot handicap hurdle. So we've got a few potential improvers in here. Interesting that Consul Thaix in the JP colours, the green and gold hoops, is the one who seems pretty easy to back. He also ran in the Triumph hurdle, ran well for a long way, but Henderson also has number 2 on your card, Brain Power.
He is a horse who, he's not been the most straightforward of horses in some of these races, but there's no doubting the horse's ability. He looked really good when winning at Kempton, but also when he ran a very good race at Punchestown at the festival behind Don't Touch It in that Grade 1. And there was a lot to like about the way he ran that day. You can see he's wearing those sheepskin cheek pieces that he's worn for his last couple of starts. And I think if they can channel this horse's ability, he has to be a player here.
A couple of other points to mention before they jump. Gary Moore at Sandown has to be respected. Graston, ex-German, it seems to be on the upgrade. He made all when he won a maiden hurdle at Plumpton. Driven right out, wasn't that flash, but he's off a mark of 122. And the other horse to mention, Ian Williams's Faithful Mount. I'm sure he's got the ability to travel really well, but anyone who saw him at Musselburgh last time, he didn't half carry his head awkwardly and just hang around. And it was a sort of checkered performance, really promising for a long way, and then late on he didn't look the most straightforward, but he is a smooth traveller.
And he's a very decent flat horse as well. So Simon, you've seen all of these going down. What's impressed you?
Well, I thought Graston looked well going to the start. Inditier, despite the absence, looks fit enough for sure for the Skelton team, but this is a wide open race as illustrated by the betting. Inditier and Brain Power, 92 joint favourites at the last show as they walk towards the starter, and nobody anxious to make the pace. I wondered if Bertimont might make it, but not so. Zubair on the inside, Faithful Mount on the outside, Inditier in third early, then Wishful Dreaming on the inside, the white Blaze Graston held up, the grey as Bertimont on the outside, then Kayf, Blanco, Brain Power, Kingston and Consul Thaix in the green and yellow hoops of JP McManus held up at the back of the field as they jumped the first flight of hurdles. And Consul Thaix made a bad landing there at the back. Slightly jarring mistake, bad landing. Hopefully he'll be all right, and he seems to be travelling okay, in touch. The pace still looking very modest indeed, so there'll be no speed records here. In the Henry VIII Novices Chase, they were 7 seconds above standard, so that looked a good time compared to some of the races here yesterday. Good fast run, good performance by Altior. Faithful Mount now leads the way by a length and a half to Zubair. Then in third is Inditier. On the outside, Bertimont, wide of Graston, and Wishful Dreaming up the inside in the Dinah Waitley colours, dark blue, lighter blue hoop, Brain Power and a white jacket, black cap. On the outside, then a Kayf Blanco, green and blue sleeves there, and the last two Kingston on the inside of Consul Thaix. So they swing away towards the back straight. Faithful Mount, rather obliged to make the running here. Charlie Deutsch, he's got a well-fancied ride later on in the London National aboard Connors Tay. And so Faithful Mount by a length and a half to Zubair. Inditier on the outside of Zubair just third. Then Bertimont in the pink colours on the inside. Wishful Dreaming from Graston in amongst them. Brain Power is out wide then from Kayf Blanco, Kingston and Consul Thaix. On towards flight number 3. Faithful Mount again rising first from Inditier. Moving up strongly into second place now. Bertimont under restraint on the near side. Zubair on the inside of Graston, who's improved a little as well, jumping the next. Brain Power landed in 6th place just ahead of Wishful Dreaming, who's still towards the inside. They cross over the chase course now to the next 2 flights of hurdles, and it's Faithful Mount that continues to make it. Out in front by a length or so to Inditier over in second, jumping well. Then Zubair on the inside. Bertimont out wide of Graston. Wishful Dreaming still pretty well grouped together. Faithful Mount just hanging a little bit going towards this one and over safely. One of them knocked it flat, not sure who. Maybe Inditier didn't get too high, but Faithful Mount showed this habit, as Graham was saying at Musselburgh. He does tend to hang his head awkwardly sometimes, but at this stage he's just beginning to pull clear. Faithful Mount from Zubair, then Inditier and Wishful Dreaming Graston. Brain Power, Bertimont caught out very wide. Consul Thaix second last, and Kingston being driven along at the back. So in a steadily run affair, they reach the top of the home straight, and Faithful Mount and Charlie Deutsch out clear of Zubair, second place, big weight difference between the pair. Then Wishful Dreaming. Indetir is quickly beaten, disappointingly, the French import for the Skeltons. Brainpower, though, is moving up in the white jacket, black cap, the outside of Wishful Dreaming, and then Kayf, Blanco and Consul de Thaix making some progress. On towards the second last, Faithful Mount, but Zubair and Brainpower and Wishful Dreaming all beginning to mount challenges, though Zubair was slow there. Kayf, Blanco and Consul de Thaix. Brainpower coming there very smoothly on the outside of the long-time leader, Faithful Mount. Then pulling out Wishful Dreaming and Consul de Thaix. The stable companion Brainpower getting into it. Faithful Mount nearly went at the last. Brilliant jump of the last by Consul de Thaix, but 2 lengths to make up on Brainpower as they race inside the final 100 yards. Going to be a 1-2 for Nicky Henderson. Brainpower driven hard. Brainpower holds on from Consul de Thaix. Then in third, Kayf, Blanco. Wishful Dreaming in fourth. Zubair weakened out of it. Then Faithful Mount, who didn't get home having made the run in Groston, was a bit disappointing. Then Kingston, and Indetir has finished last of all on his English debut, and Bertimont came to grief at the second last. Bertimont is fine by the look of things, and his rider Jack Sherwood has walked away looking good as well. Brainpower came there very smoothly indeed to win here at 9-2, was only clinging on in the end, and Consul de Thaix made a bad mistake early on and was a bit out of his ground, was finishing strongly. He could be the one to take from this race.
He could. 9 times out of 10 you might think Consul de Thaix had reversed the form with Brainpower, but Brainpower's won, and to his credit, he travelled very smoothly through the race before having to work quite hard early on. Significance of this, well, it's a great day for Nicky Henderson, having won with Altior. He's first and second here. Michael Buckley, JP McManus, the 2 owners. And the market told you beforehand which order they might finish in. Late market moves for Brainpower, and Consul de Thaix, by contrast, was a little weak in the market, and as Simon said, a little out of his ground before running on with a will under Jerry Maguire. But 2 promising horses. Brainpower wins. Sam Twiston Davis, the comeback winner, rather ironically for Nicky Henderson.